Hi, welcome or welcome back to the Unraveling Soprano. I'm Heather, and this is my channel where I talk about all my makes from the week, whether that be knitting, crochet, or sewing. I have been working. Well, first I'm wearing. No, this for a while. I'm wearing my Billy sweatshirt. It's a Tilly in the Buttons pattern. And I think I've talked this before. It's got like woodland animals, and it's feeling very fall because we're almost there, friends. Almost in fall. Probably have realistically another 3 weeks, but we're all working close. So I have been working on my flax sweater this week, and I have finished the increases. I have not quite started the short rows, so this is how far I have gotten. I am knitting until this gets to be about 7 inches in depth, which honestly, I think we're there. I think the next thing I'm going to work on is the short rows. I'm just going to do a quick measure. Yeah, we're basically there. Take that. Yeah. So I'm at 7 inches. So I'm going to start doing moving the markers to do the short row shaping next. And we're just kind of chugging along. I think once the short row shaping is completed and I split for the sleeves, it should be relatively quick. I do find that knitting with this yarn has slowed me down considerably because it is cotton yarn. It is kind of hard in my hands, and I'm just not able to knit as quickly when I'm working with cotton yarn. I still really love the pattern. This garter stitch motif on the sleeve I think is really fun, and I'm excited to see what it looks like when it's all done on the sleeve. So yeah, so that's my flax. I did have a yarn acquisition come in the mail. So I had a gift card towards Wool Warehouse that I've just been kind of sitting on. Not Wool Warehouse, Wool and Company. Oh no, one of the balls got unwinded. So I had a gift card and I wanted to start slowly acquiring the yarn I'm going to need for Christmas to start my sock knitting. So the first thing I did is a project for me. I bought this lovely purple. This looks really pretty on camera. This is Cascade 220, the worsted in, I think the color is Orchid. It doesn't say what color. Yeah, I don't think it says on the band what the color name is, but I'm pretty sure it's Orchid. But it's just a really pretty color. I got 7 balls of this, which I'm going to attempt to make the honeycomb, Aran honeycomb. I think it's a Patton's pattern. It's I think it's from a bottom up seamed garment, and it's cables. I'm trying to recreate, I forget what movie it is, but there's this Marilyn Monroe sweater that she's like, it's a costume for a movie where she's just kind of wearing a sweater and tights, and I've always loved the look of that sweater. So I think that this is a really great color because it's a really good purple for me. It looks slightly more pink in the viewfinder. That might be so it's slightly pinker on camera than it is in person. So it's definitely a purple in person. But I really like the sweater, and I know it's going to be, hopefully I've put pictures of the pattern I'm going to use and pictures of the original like inspiration somewhere here. And I know that the Marilyn Monroe, it's obviously like either there's decreases in the back and in the sides, or it's pinched in the back to give that kind of hourglass shape. But I think what I'm gonna do is I might knit this in the smallest size for the body, and that way it'll have some negative ease, so it'll be a little bit more form fitting. We'll see. I may get in there and I may like completely change course and just give myself a purple cable sweater because I just love cables. So we'll see. I've tried this pattern once before and I failed because I just did not have the mental fortitude. This is definitely be a winter project. So I have the yarn so that once inspiration strikes, once I'm done with my Christmas knitting, I'll get into this. Before that, though, I bought 2 skeins of sock yarn. This is the Gusto wool, and it's the Echoes. And did they tell me the color? So this is the color 1528. So it's a green, and then it goes into this pinky brown. I think that's a really fun color combination. And then this is the colorway 1513. And that's what looks inside. Don't look at me. So yeah, so I think that these are going to make really great socks. The yarn feels really soft. It doesn't feel like it's particularly itchy. I mean, it's sock yarn. I do like that these are machine washable. The yarn before is obviously, it's a Peruvian wool, so it is hand wash only, but it's for a sweater for me. I'm going to hand wash it. These are gift socks. So they are, I want them to be machine washable. Also, what I love about this is that Gusto Wool sells the sock yarn into skeins. So Wool Warehouse has a winding service, a free winding service. So they wound this up for me. But I love that like these socks will be pretty identical because the self-striping yarn is wound in a way where they're just gonna match. They're gonna be perfect matches, which I think makes really great socks. So we'll see how this knits up. If I'm as impressed as with the finished product as I am the concept, but so far I'm really impressed and so excited that Wool and Company winds the yarn for me because I do not love winding yarn. I have the ability, I have all the tools, I just don't like doing it if I don't have to. So that is the yarn I purchased. I am thinking about the projects I want to do this year, and so I have my Kona Casta cardigan that I have all the supplies for. I just kind of need to get started, and I'll do that once I'm done with my flax. And I'm thinking about looking at my wardrobe and thinking like, what colors, what does my wardrobe really need? And I'm getting to a point where I may not need much. I have plenty of really nice wool sweaters. I don't have, I'm fighting with what do I need versus what do I want as far as color. I need just a basic navy cardigan that will go with everything. I want a bright orange pullover. So I don't know which one is going to win because I need a navy cardigan. I need things that will go with pieces that like I can mix and match with my existing wardrobe, and I'm just really just drawn to bright punchy colors. I also want a red sweater, like a really like a bright red sweater. I think because I've been working exclusively in like brownie neutrals for like the past year pretty much, or whites and creams, things that do really go well in a wardrobe where I can mix and match. I'm just craving lots and lots of bright saturated color that's really fun. And I might look at my shawl. Like I have enough shawls. I really do. but I really just want these pops of color. So maybe the shawl, maybe that's why people knit prolifically in shawls, because that's where you get that itch. The itch is scratched with the need for the bright colors, but you're not like bogging your wardrobe down with 50 pullovers. I also just love the monotony, the process of a raglan. I just love it because that's, I think that what's happening is with this flax sweater, I'm realizing, oh my gosh, I love the process of this, but I hate the yarn I'm using. I hate the cotton yarn. Wouldn't this be so fun, so luxurious in a bright, punchy wool? Can I justify in my wardrobe like this in a red, like a really bright red? Would I find a use for that? I know I'd wear it. Like I know I'd wear it for Christmas. But and I love the idea of like getting like finding a fingering yarn in like a cashmere blend that is this bright punchy red or orange, and it's probably more practical if I'm going to do a bright color. Probably orange is not practical because would only wear an orange sweater in the fall. I don't know. I also like don't have the brain power to, or the budget for it. Because if I was going to do this, part of me wants to be like, well, let's just find a cashmere because Cardiff cashmere has a red. I could just, but that would be so expensive. That would be like probably $500 worth of yarn, and if I don't get the right perfect red, that's a lot of money to like take a chance on. And also cashmere pills. I do love the feel. I've come around to cashmere. I used to hate cashmere because it is kind of itchy, but I've come around to it. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What's the best? Because I'm looking for not an orange. I mean, I guess an orangey red would scratch the itch for both an orange and a red, but I think that I'm looking for a true red. But I also don't know how a true. I know I can wear red. I once had a person in my life who told me that redheads can't wear red. That is not true. And I'm not sure if my hair is really that red. It's more auburn. But I know I can wear red. What's the best, like the best budget red that's not from Knit Picks? Because I'm kind of avoiding Knit Picks. I have read online that like they're having a bug issue, and I don't know if that's true, but it makes me just kind of go, I want to not buy from Knit Picks for a while. And also, like, I don't know if their quality is going down since they've been acquired. I know that they were probably acquired a while ago by what do you call it, private equity. But anytime someone's bought by private equity, you think the quality might go down. So I'm just kind of like, I like the idea of Wool & Co. because it's a shop, and I'm sure that they have. I mean, they have like mass market yarns that they sell, but I like the idea of like, I know there's a physical store that I'm supporting. I know that there's local yarn shops near me, but I like being able to compare. Sometimes when I'm in my local yarn shop, I feel the need to just buy something because I want to support the local yarn shop, and I'm not as thoughtful as I would be with online shopping. Because online shopping, I can like put things in my cart, walk away, and then assess like, is this really something I want? Is this something I need? Is this the color? Like, because I get so pulled by the idea of colors that sometimes I just need a couple nights to think, okay, is that actually the color combination I'm looking for? I also want to do a colorwork sweater. I've been thinking about that for a while, and I'm trying to find the best way to figure out the colors. If anybody has any idea on like color work mapping, like how to look at colors so you can see if they are actually going to work the way you want them to. But yeah, so that's all I have on my knitting update. My reading update, I finished Mockingjay. I think that I did okay with it. I love the book. Like, I love Suzanne Collins' writing. But I thought I was going to be more, like, destroyed. I think because I've seen the movie. Like, I was like, I know what's happening. So I'm going to start The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes soon. I am probably going to watch the movie again to kind of prep me. And I do that. I'm going to have a big problem with Sunrise and the Reaping because the movie's not going to be out yet. But I'd like to be able to picture things. And also, if there's traumatic moments, I like to kind of prepare myself a little bit. But anyways, that's all I have for you today. The garden is winding down. I am still waiting to harvest my potatoes. I think next week the potatoes should be done, but everything else, I mean, I'm actually getting more tomatoes now than I was before. Don't know what that's about, but I'm not going to be mad about it. The garden was not as prolific as I wanted it to be. I had really high hopes in the spring that I was going to have all this produce, and I had about a salad's worth of produce. My lettuce never really took off like the way I wanted it to. I'm going to try lettuce again. I think that I may buy a cold frame or at least something to put over the plot of land that I do lettuce and see if that helps and if maybe I can have lettuce into the winter. We shall see. But yeah, and the thing is, it was a good growing season. It was just, I think, a little bit, I tried really hard to set things up in a way where I didn't have to baby it. I think that I didn't give myself, maybe it was a space issue because I did kind of crowd things. And I think that I waited too late in the season to really get going. I didn't put things in the ground until it was like, I don't know, like I think I did it the first couple weeks of March, but because I wasn't starting from anything I started from seed, it just never got up. It got kind of, my entire crop kind of got ravaged by pests in the back. My broccoli was doing really, really well. My cauliflower was doing so well, and they just got destroyed by caterpillars. So I think that next year I'm going to be a little bit more on it with my pest management. I just didn't want to use pesticides. And I had covers, but like the covers I had, it's a fabric, but it's like a plasticky fabric. Like it's a polyester fabric. And I was just thinking, like, am I negating the benefits of organic gardening by putting a polyester fabric when it rains? Are microplastic, and this may just be silliness, are microplastics going on to the food? Do I care about that? And so I didn't know what the best pest management thing was. So just more research, and I'm sure it'll be better next year. But yeah, so that's all I have for you today. I hope you have plenty of time this week to do your hobbies, and until I see you next time, I hope you have a great week. Thanks so much. Bye!